Good afternoon. Welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike Danais.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
Happy early release today, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you. It's snowing again.
Well, we got sent home early from school today because it's another snowstorm, and it kind of ruined our plans because we had all these guests lined up for the day, but they all went home.
Yeah, they're gone, and we're going to hear about it.
But we didn't go home.
No, we're here, and Timothy Goodwin, our producer, is here. So Timothy, thank you for staying. I think we're the last three left in the high school.
Just about.
Yeah. And we're going to hear from our fans, by the way, because we make these promises, and then they tell me, well, you don't follow through with your guests, and we're letting you know this time we can't follow through because everybody's.
We would be very bad politicians then.
Everybody's gone.
Or very
home.
Good politicians.
We might be really good. Maybe we should run on a ticket together for something. But next, so we do want to get guests on, and we heard great things about last week's show. Not about us. We never hear good things about us, but great things about our guests with Rachel and Grace.
The guests saved us last week.
Yeah, they so did. So it's nice to have kids on, and we're going to continue that.
All right, before we get started, I want to mention our sponsors, Morrissey's Porch and Pub.
Okay. Oh, I just like that name.
I do too.
That's good. Skelly's Market.
And Downtown Grill and Cafe.
Yeah, so thank you to our sponsors, and please visit our sponsors.
So a couple of events that are coming up, and I'll do one, you can do one. March 14th is the Bruins alumni game. Mm-hmm. We talked about it last week. The advertisers are starting to pile up. Actually, all three of the ones that we just mentioned are going to take part in that advertising also.
Which is awesome.
Rumors, Ray Bork is going to be...
Yes, say that again louder. Ray Bork, yes.
Rick Middleton played in the last one.
Oh, my gosh.
He was my hero growing up.
Yeah.
And he's still got it.
Yeah.
Nifty still got it.
Oh, my gosh,
so,
yeah.
I'm
sure they all still got it. But.
So March 14th, but I thought the game was at night. It's not at night. It's during,
no, it's a 1 p.m.
game.
1 o'clock game.
So it's an afternoon tilt. I think NBC is going to be here for Hockey Night or Hockey Day in America or something like that.
I think so. Do you think we're going to get on that?
We might.
That'd be great.
We might. Yeah. So big day at the Pop on March 14th. So if you guys can make it, that would be great.
Yeah.
And we also have flag football announcents that we want to talk about.
We do. I guess we're just going to jump to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do a couple of announcements.
Okay. So we had talked about last week. We were actually going to have the guest on, that the man that runs the flag football program, and we're going to try to get him back maybe in March. He said he can come back, but they've started a flag football program. We had mentioned it on last week's show. It's been over in Meredith at Interlakes High School for a few years now, and they've expanded it to Kingswood. So they're opening it up. It's really ages 4 to 17, and different divisions. It's only he wanted me to mention this. It's only $85. It goes from April to June. The commitment, it's a very low commitment. It's only 2 hours a week. You do an hour of practice, and then you play an hour of games. It's 5-on-5. You have teams of 8 to 9, so there's a lot of opportunity for kids to play. The goal this year is to assemble Kingswood teams that would practice right here at Kingswood at the Alumni Stadium, and then they would play their games at Interlakes, and it's typically on Saturdays. But it's just a huge program that is at the other part of the lake that's now shifting towards us here, and it's open to everybody in our district. It's co-ed, boys and girls. They're going to teach you the game of football. It's going to help even if you don't want to continue playing football at the next level. It'll certainly help you with all the other sports that you play, with agility and fitness and teamwork and all that great stuff. So I'm excited.
I'm excited. And I think football's gotten a bad rap over the past 10 or 12 years with the concussion stuff.
Yes.
And the numbers have dropped significantly in youth football.
Yeah. Yeah.
But football itself is a great game.
It is.
I love playing football. I remember growing up, recesses, and you'd have pickup games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is going to bring more kids back into the game.
Right.
And then when they get older and stronger, if they want to continue on with the hitting and the tackling and so on, that path will be there, but they'll have the game underneath their belt.
That's right. That's right.
There are many stories of NFL athletes that didn't start playing tackle football until their sophomores or junior years.
I know.
Randy Moss was one of them.
Yeah.
He started playing football his junior year in high school.
Junior year of high school.
Junior year of high school, and he's arguably one of the greatest wide receivers that's ever played.
Absolutely.
But he had the ball skills, from doing things like this.
Yeah.
So
I think it's great, and I think and even for high school athletes, even if you never dreamed of playing high school football, I mean, if you're a Nordic skier or cross country runner or a swimmer or it doesn't matter, soccer player. This is going to help you with your sport.
I didn't know it went up to 17.
Yeah, they're going 4 to 17. They're trying to get a 6U, 8U, 10U, 12U, 14U, and then they're trying to get a high school.
Okay.
high school level as well.
That's exciting
So
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's I think it's great, and I hope it takes off here. I know that it's already taken off. There's a lot of people from this area that already are involved in the league, so it'll be great to get the people that run this league on our show.
Okay.
So they gave me. I'm not going to read this, but there's a whole bunch of stuff here, just about how flag football can help you not only learn to appreciate the game of football, but to help you just as an athlete.
Those skill positions. And,
Yeah.
Right. But there are so many other things in football other than tackling.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
yeah,
just learning to play as a team.
Absolutely.
Learning to understand plays, learning to execute, learning to strategize,
learning to read defenses. So there's a lot to it. So I know it's going to be a success, which is great, and we'll talk about it a little bit each week, and we hope people, if they're interested. So what you need to do is go to the Facebook page. They have Lakes Region Flag Football. Go to the Facebook page and like it. All the information is there. Once again, it's Lakes Region Flag Football.
All right, so are you ready to start talking about some Kingswood sports?
Yeah, why don't you kick it off?
Well, boys basketball. I actually was able to get to the game last night. The basketball team, the boys team, played Merrimack Valley. They won by like 20. Mm-hmm. They pretty much had it in hand the whole time.
Yeah.
They look good. The boys team looked good.
That's good.
And they had, lost to Sauhegan earlier. Right now their record is 6-8.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in
the mix. Well, I looked at it. I mean,
they're in the mix.
I always say that, like, if the season ended today,
Yeah.
they're making the playoffs,
So
which is exciting. And they've got Plymouth. And I said last week, we don't want to say automatic. It's a win. They've got Stark, which they can beat. They've got West, which they can beat. And they already beat Kennett. Now, Kennett's a really good team, but they already beat them.
They did.
So they have the ability to do that. How cool would it be if they're 6-8 now? You got 4 games left.
If
you're
they
gonna be
get to
10-8. You'll be 10-8.
10-8. Does that host the game? Do you think?
Oh, I don't know. How cool would that be?
That would be great. And I think we had said that if they host it, if we can, we need to try to get over there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be great.
Fun stuff last night, and I put it on our notes. I happened to be there for Ethan Arnold had a dunk.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we don't see that in Kingswood very often.
No, you don't see a lot of that.
It was actually an alley-oop from Brogan Shannon.
Wow.
And it kind of caught me by surprise because I thought I was the only one that plays above the rim.
I know, yeah, and you do play above the rim. Yes.
So
that's good for him.
It was good stuff. They look good. And I mean, Merrimack Valley's wasn't their hardest competition, and I think that's where the Knights and Coach Place has got to get them, because Kingswood is for the most part beating the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Right.
I'd like to see them upset a team now.
Yeah, it's time.
Now it's time to upset.
And
a
I think
team.
Kennett was an upset, so I like to see it again.
Okay. And they handled Kennett. I mean, I think it was an 8-point win against Kennett.
Yeah.
So they should.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're playing well and they're going to have Kennett down here, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. So we'll see. But the boys are starting to, get some things going. Playoffs would be awesome.
All right, so here we go. Here's the coaching question.
Yeah.
And I know Coach Place will be watching this show.
He does every time.
All right, so you're going against Plymouth.
Yes.
Not a lot there with Plymouth. Do you play your bench players? Or do you just keep going full throttle? I'm just asking you. This is not we're not telling Coach Place what to do. What would you do?
I would because I want to stay sharp.
Yep.
And I think an opportunity against a team like Plymouth, who is at the bottom of the division, and they're certainly struggling.
Yeah.
That first half, I want those starters in there, and I want them executing.
Sure.
I want them executing. I want them to try things that they haven't been able to try.
Yeah, so you say,
run
I want you
plays.
to... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the second half, well, hopefully you have things under control.
Yeah.
And then the second half, you let some of the other guys play. They don't have a very long bench.
No, they don't. They don't.
I think I counted last night, maybe 5 guys on the bench.
Yeah.
There was somebody that was injured also that was on the bench. He was in street clothes. So I still think you can get in there, but I want those starters. I want the guys because it looks like they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if they finish 9-9, 10-8,
yeah, they're going to be getting a top tier team. Yeah.
Well, are they? I mean, I think that's going to get them middle of the pack.
Yeah, maybe if they
might see like a 10-7 game, something like that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
A winnable game. My point is a winnable game.
For the first round. I see what you're saying.
And so I think that you want those guys playing at their best.
Right.
Coach Place let his starters stay in there, all the way through, almost 3 or 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And they were up by 20. And
Yeah.
they were trying to execute. And they also weren't working the clock. I was actually sitting next to Coach Landry, and he's like, work the clock. And,
Yeah.
they were executing their
pushing.
offense. They were
Yeah.
pushing. And I think that's what they need to do just to make sure that they're sharp going into the next game. I don't think that they have enough wins to sit back and
Right.
relax. They're not there yet.
No, I agree with you. That's very Belichick would do the same thing, right? You never see when you're talking football, you never see Brady come out, or you never see the starters come out.
Play the 60 minutes.
Yeah, gotcha.
And their best years, the Patriots, we keep referring back to Belichick, but their best years are when they're business from day one to the last year, and they keep their starters in, and. As fans, we're like, pull Brady out, he's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But no, he wants to send the mentality that nobody's above the team, and we need to keep playing better and better and better.
Right.
We're not taking our foot off the gas. And, go back to 07, or Patriots talk now, but go back to 07, they were blowing teams out, the Joe Gibbs teams, and by 50 points. And he had a mentality that he was trying to set with his team.
Right.
We play until the end. We don't worry about the scoreboard. We execute.
Right.
And I think Coach places in that
and you earn your
right
play
now.
time during practice.
Right.
All right.
Girls basketball.
They've got 2 games remaining.
We had Grace and Rachel on last week.
We did.
Awesome interviews. The captains did a great job. I can't say enough about the job that they did.
They were great.
They had a tough loss against Sauhegan. They lost by 7. I spoke to them not last night, but I don't know, maybe Sunday, and. They felt that they should have won that game.
Yeah.
They gave it away at the end. They gave it away at the end. Pretty low scoring game. Did we say that they had to win the rest of the games for them to make? I thought
the girls had said 2,
4.
so we got 2 left.
Okay.
So they've got 2 remaining, and we know that they're both home games.
Okay. So they're obviously playing better basketball than they were at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely.
And it's a good sign that they're
they're improving.
What I also saw from the girls, they want to win now. They've had that taste of winning.
Yep.
And they want to win.
Yeah.
So
once you get that little taste.
Speaking of taste of winning.
So girls hockey. So we went to your hometown, and I got really excited.
One of my hometowns.
Yeah, one of your hometown. I like you're a Berlin guy. I can tell.
Okay.
So we went up to your hometown, and I looked all around the rink. I wanted to see the Mike Danais statue and everything. But we looked at
plaques.
We looked at the pictures, and we're really excited. So I looked at the 1958 hockey team. You were not on that.
I was not on that one.
But we went up there. There's something about that rink, Notre Dame Arena. It's just old school hockey rink.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was just it's a kind of an interesting feel, fun feel.
Many years ago, Berlin was voted Hockey Town of America.
Okay.
Each year they pick somebody,
Yeah.
and Berlin was it. They had put some money into the rink recently. They got the center scoreboard.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
That is
It's
really
just
cool.
Missing some.
Yeah.
But the environment up there.
Yeah.
Every single game, whatever level you're playing, draws a crowd.
It does. Yeah.
And I'm sure that
There was a
decent
crowd there. Absolutely.
They just want to see hockey up there. There's a lot of old timers that just want to still see hockey.
Yeah, they love it.
And
they've got a great. I didn't partake this time, but they've got a great little snack shack in there.
Yeah.
And they have the poutine and it's total you're so close to the Canadian border.
Yep. They have an arcade in there.
Yeah, I mean it's it's pretty cool. Yeah. But so our girls went up there and it's tough. They knew going in that it was going to be a challenge for them, and it was. They dropped the game, but there were some glimmers of offense. It wasn't like years past where it's just kind of play a keep away. Berlin would just play keep away from them. So we saw a little more this year.
We talked about Berlin before. They had some good hockey players on their girls team.
Very good hockey players.
Disappointing last night.
Yes.
So
yes.
the girls
they
played Manchester
Central Memorial,
which is kind of bizarre. That's a combined team, and they're choosing from 6,000 girls.
I know.
Central and Memorial both have 3,000 students.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
6,000 girls they're choosing from.
And they didn't have a very big team.
No.
They actually had fewer players than we did.
So. It was bizarre. But so I left after the first period.
Yep.
When I left, the girls were winning.
Yeah, it was 2-0.
I take some responsibility that I kind of.
Yeah, they went up 2-0.
I kind of jinxed them.
Maybe.
Well, let's mention Sarah Paraskis had the first goal. unassisted.
Yeah,
as,
yeah.
the
Sarah
announcer
Prescott's
says.
unassisted. That's
Unassisted. If you get to a girls' game, the host does the announcing at a girls' game. It is very entertaining.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I do enjoy doing announcing. And Erin Meyer had her first high school goal.
Erin Meyer had her first high school goal.
Yeah, which was really exciting.
And it was a lot of fun to see. And we've mentioned Erin Meyer on the show before, how happy she is out there. It's her first year playing. And she... It was just an awesome thing to see her score, and then how happy she was afterwards.
I know, it was so cool. I don't think you were there. Were you there when time ran out in the period? I don't know. It must have been the second period. So Erin had the puck. The horn had sounded. The whistle had blown. The opposing goalie was actually heading towards the bench, and Erin shot the puck, and it went in and celebrated because she hadn't heard anything. She thought she got her second goal. So it's just I couldn't help but want to celebrate with her. So that's
awesome.
just who she is.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was a tough loss because this is a team that they played very competitive hockey against. I thought they went back and forth.
So what happened? The first period, they dominated that first period.
They did, and I think the coaches were playing a short bench.
Yeah.
And the girls got tired.
Okay.
So you could see the fatigue factor, and and it's one of those things. I talked to Coach Kelly at the end of the game, and we just basically said, his intention was to do this and hope it would work, and then unfortunately it backfired, and you just never know. I mean, he had the right intentions. He was going for the win. I thought it was awesome what he wanted to do, and then it backfired in the sense that the kids just got exhausted.
So it's difficult when they're used to playing 3 and 4 lines.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
To go to 2 lines.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we'll talk about the boys' team now. The boys' team has been basically playing 2 lines all year long.
I know.
So they're used to it at this point. And now the boys are coming off probably their best week.
Yep.
The last show we had, we were kind of down. I was certainly down on them.
Yeah.
Coach Potenza got on my case a little bit on how down I was on them. He didn't think that they were playing that bad.
Okay.
And that's okay. He's certainly defending his team, and I appreciate that. We were in agreement that Lebanon game was not a good game for them.
Yeah.
He made some changes. We referred to that in the last show, that he made some changes to see how it works. Well, it sure worked, because in the Portsmouth game, Portsmouth was ahead of them in the standings.
Yeah.
They had been playing pretty good hockey, and they came up here and got caught up into a buzzsaw.
They did.
And it was pretty good. Colby Clegg, great game. Nick Potenza, great game.
Yeah.
A lot of balanced scoring, came from. They ended up winning 6-4, I believe the final was. And it was, arguably their best game of the year at that point. And so then they turn around on Sunday, and they have to face that Lebanon team Sunday afternoon that they had just lost to 5-1.
Right.
And Kingswood brought out a different team. They really did. Moving the puck around, tight defense. I mentioned Colby and Will, my son Will. They're playing centers, and like I said, they're playing 2 lines right now, and what they do in the defensive zone is really strong as centers, because they act as third defensemen down there, and really solidified it. Oleg Sheehan with the shutout, his second of the year. Second of his career, and second of the year,
fantastic.
Too. So really good stuff. The boys have got some momentum going. They go to Kennett tomorrow. Hopefully, if they can take care of business at Kennett, that gets them back to 500, and then they're moving forward. The Portsmouth game and the Lebanon game, and they still play Portsmouth again. Those are the teams that they're fighting with for those, the bottom 3 playoff spots.
Right.
It's interesting. Right now, we believe that 9 teams make the playoffs for hockey, which is an odd number.
Yeah.
8 plays 9 in the preliminary.
So someone gets a bye? Or no, I see what you're saying.
1 through 7 technically get a bye into the quarterfinals.
8 through 9 fight it out.
8 plays 9, and then they would move on. So 2 years ago, Kingswood finished in 8th, and they hosted a game against, I want to say it was Portsmouth Newmarket. They won in overtime, and then they went down to Wyndham in the quarterfinals and won that game.
Yeah.
Last year they finished in, I want to say, 6th place, and they had to go on the road for the quarterfinals. They didn't have to play the preliminary game, so they went on the road in the quarterfinals, and they didn't have that momentum.
Right.
I can make an argument, and I know you like to play less games, but being in that 8th spot, hosting that playoff game. Hopefully you win.
Yeah.
and then building that momentum into the next round.
Right.
Where the other team has been sitting, and we've seen that in football too.
Yeah.
When teams that have that bye, sometimes come out flat. Where teams that play in that wild card round, I'll give you an example this year: the Titans played in the wild card round,
Yeah.
pick up Baltimore the next, in the divisional round or whatever they call it, and caught Baltimore back on their heels. And so I think the same thing happens in hockey. Now, the way that Kingswood's built, we're only playing 2 lines. Maybe they could use the extra
little
time
bit of
off.
rest, yeah.
So they're playing some of their best hockey all year long. There are some milestones that they're getting close to.
Right.
There's a couple players that are close to 100 points.
Awesome.
Nick Potenza and Colby Clegg
Yeah.
are there, and so that's in the sort of back of their
exciting.
minds, and it is exciting, and there's certainly some excitement around that team. Oleg Sheehan is starting to play some of his best hockey.
Yeah, good time too.
So they might be peaking. And the interesting thing about Division II in hockey, I don't think there's a dominant team at the top.
Right.
I think any of these teams, 1 through 9, can get in there and can win it.
Yeah.
In years past, we've talked about the St. Thomas's, and Dover's been very strong. But if you look up and down, they played Goffstown, who's the number 1 team, when they were not playing as well as they are now, and they lost to Goffstown 6-5.
Yeah.
So there are some
never
teams
know.
that could beat you. Never know. And you had mentioned this, there's a lot of talent on that team.
There is.
And
There is.
they have enough pieces to do it. But they're skating. They're a thin team too. So we'll
And I
see
think I
what
said
happens.
this to you last week. 1 game at a time, and the next game's huge because they're playing Kennett. So they're going to Kennett. They're traveling up to Kennett.
Yep.
And they need to take care of business.
Yes.
Rivalry game, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
Swimming. Just had the swimming championships down at UNH. All right. Sarah Bellafleur set a Kingswood school record, so she now owns all of them. She set the
awesome.
Kingswood school record in the 100 fly. She was 7th overall I wrote that she would set a school record for the 100 fly. It's the 100 back that she set a school record for. She was 7th overall in the 100 fly in the D2 championships.
Great.
So that was great to see.
We're going to try to have Sarah on the show next week.
Lily, because Lily Stinchfield also went down there and swam well.
Okay,
So
so
it'd be
we'll
nice
try
to
and
have
get both of
Sarah and Lily.
I think I have Sarah's contact information.
Okay, I
She
do
was in my
too.
advisory
I
a
work
couple
with her
years
mom,
ago.
so.
All right, so between the two of us,
Yeah.
we'll get Sarah in.
Yeah. So congratulations to
Great.
Lily and
Nice-
Sarah.
Nice job, girls. All right, so we're gonna have to cut this short a little bit.
Oh my God, we're truly going to need to do a 3-hour show. All right, go ahead.
So let's talk about the Red Sox. There seems to be a lot more fallout from the Mookie Betts trade a week after it's happened, rather than right when it happened.
Yeah, immediate, right? I know.
The ownership came out and
Yeah, John Henry read his statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they had to trade Mookie.
Yeah.
You know who they don't mention at all in the trade?
David Price. Yeah. No.
Did he ever play for the Red
Yeah,
Sox? I'm not
David
even
who?
sure. The reaction from Red Sox Nation is interesting. It's and maybe it's more of the youth. And I was looking at some perspective that like our sons,
Our kids, yeah, right.
have Mookie's been playing for the Sox for 5 or 6 years. He's been a star for
Yeah.
them, and he's their Babe Ruth.
Yeah. Right.
And so it affects them a lot more. How could they possibly trade away Mookie Betts?
Right.
I think they should have traded him. You think they should have
Yeah,
traded him.
yeah.
Because it doesn't look like he's going to sign. And another thing I was listening to today is that the Yankees are a friggin' juggernaut.
I know.
They are
Yeah.
absolute juggernaut this year.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are a juggernaut.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that the Red Sox are going to be
They're not gonna
sniffing
probably
in
make
the
a
World
run.
Series. And
Yeah.
so it might not have been a bad idea to do this at this time, to trade Mookie Betts and then see. Also, did you see Xander Bogaerts said, we're going to try and get Mookie back here for.
I saw that for free agency. Yeah, free
that would
agency.
be interesting.
That would be really interesting.
I remember when Aroldis Chapman was with the Yankees, and then he went to the Cubs in his free agent year at the
Yeah,
end,
yeah.
and then he signed back with the Yankees.
Yeah.
And so the Yankees, which is one of the reasons why they're doing as well as they are, were able to pick up all those draft picks and all those prospects and then get him back.
Right.
So maybe I don't know. I don't think Mookie really wants to come back. I believe he's a Southern guy who wants to play down in the Atlanta area
I think
and
so.
stuff like that. So.
And did you happen to see the interview with JBJ?
No.
He got interviewed on the Greg Hill show, and it was great. JBJ was awesome interview.
Yeah.
I was never really a big JBJ fan, and part of the reason is he doesn't interact with the crowd when you're at the game.
Yeah.
But he talked about taking more of a leadership role. He talked obviously about losing Mookie, but is excited about welcoming Kevin Pillar and all that good stuff. So we'll see. We'll see.
They're not going to replace all of Mookie's numbers.
Of course not.
But they're also not going to be. It's not going to be an automatic out in that spot.
Yeah.
And I think that people realize, you're trading away Mookie. Mookie's 35 home runs, 100 RBIs, and you're not going to get 3,500, but you'll probably get 25, 80.
Yep.
Out of that spot. So it's not like it's just going to be completely gone.
And Brock Holt is gone. That's the other.
I saw that.
Yeah, he signed with Milwaukee.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I love Brock Holt.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of time, but I do want to bring in the MLB cheating scandal because that seems to continue.
Yeah.
And where I'm finding interest in it is the reaction from other players around the league towards the Astros.
Right.
And did you see Rob Manfred, the commissioner of MLB, sent out a statement that if anybody throws at the Astros batters intentionally, and that didn't even dawn on me that they're like villains right now in MLB, and that if anybody throws at them, they're going to be automatically suspended.
I don't know.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I disagree with that.
That they're going to get suspended, or that
no. I think they'll get suspended, but I think you might need to get thrown at. I mean, these are Major League Baseball pitchers. They're not going to throw at their head. If you plunk it on their hip, oh well.
How long is that going to happen? Did you see the over/under for hit batters?
I did see
83.
that. I did see that. Did you see the thing? I know.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, we're running out of time. But did you see the guy that went down to Houston Astros spring training, and they're doing BP, and he's beating a trash can in the background. Like, that's classic. So,
I noticed this. I didn't. It's the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I had put it.
Did you write this down?
I wrote that. I saw it breaks the Mike and the Haas protocol for never mentioning NASCAR. But this is kind of serious. We know that Dale Earnhardt lost his life in the final lap of the Daytona 500.
Yes.
Did you see
I saw the crash.
Holy cow! But
he's okay, right?
He is okay.
He's okay.
But the crash was like, oh my goodness!
Yeah.
At 200 miles an hour.
Yep.
And it was his teammate that was trying to push him over the finish line.
It happened right at the end, right?
Yeah, and actually, he finished ninth. He finished ninth with his car in flames and upside down.
I don't follow NASCAR.
I don't either.
Why did they finish on Monday? Was it raining on Sunday?
Yeah, they had a rain delay. Oh,
Okay, the flyover. I thought the flyover of the president's
president
flyover.
and the first lady.
I think we should go back to, now that we've mentioned that, to Section 3, Line 2 of our protocol that says we don't talk about NASCAR again.
I know. I just wanted to. There are a lot of NASCAR fans in this area.
They do.
And I'm just grateful that Ryan Newman is going to be okay.
There was a lot of really good left turns in that Daytona race. I
have to say, I have a little more appreciation for NASCAR after.
Are we going to lose fans now that we're?
I don't think so. This may be the only time we talk about it, but it does take some talent. I mean, I get nervous sometimes going 75, so I can only imagine 200 miles.
I've driven with you. You are not a fast driver.
200 miles an hour.
You're going to add an hour onto wherever you're going.
Yes,
you're going to drive with Charlie.
Yes. So, yeah. Well, let's just leave it at that. And yeah, I do take my time. I'm very safe driver.
And I appreciate that out of you.
All right, we need to wrap it up.
I want to play a game with the Brady stuff. Maybe next week we could do that.
I like games. But we also have to get viewers on our, not viewers. We have viewers, I hope. We have to get guests on our show.
We had a full slate today.
Yeah. Maybe we can play some games with our viewers. I mean, with our viewers, with our guests.
We've got to shut it down. That's going to do it for us. Anything else, Coach?
Nope.
All right. Thank you for watching Mike and Haas on Wolfeboro Community Television. I want to thank Timothy behind the glass, Morrissey's Porch and Pub,
Skelly's Market,
and Downtown Grill and Cafe. Have a great week.
Go Knights.